Hi, this is Abul Hussain coming to you direct from London, the United Kingdom, and welcome to another episode of the SMMA Mastermind podcast, where we talk about how you can start or scale your digital marketing, your social media marketing agency, and we also bring on subject matter experts to help upskill us so that we can grow our businesses and deliver better results for our clients. Now, if you are watching this episode outside of our Facebook group, make sure to find the link above or below this video, or go to smmamastermind.com, and that should redirect you back to the Facebook group, especially if you're looking to network with a like-minded community of 2,500 people. Now, I have a very special guest joining me all the way actually from Chicago. So he's a couple of hours behind us. And what we are going to talk about is the importance of a mastermind and how it can help you grow your business. Kruger, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Well, really happy to be here today and excited. So how's the weather on the other side of the pond here? I know it's quite different here than Chicago, I'm sure.
It's sunny today, which is great. It's been a sunny couple of days. Sometimes it's slightly chilly, but London is known to have rain 10 or 11 months in the year. So
Yeah,
I think
no, that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. How's it in Chicago?
Today's odd. So earlier this week, we started with some snow. We had some flurries that was coming down. And then just today, it went up to 84 Fahrenheit. So that's quite warm. So we had in the same week, everything from winter to summer. So it's been pretty fantastic. So
oh, wow, that's crazy. I've heard about such weather in the US. I mean, we do get that sometimes in the UK, but usually it's just a rain dully day, which is why the British are always sulking, you know, the British audience here. Now, Kyle, we know you are the founder of the P.A.C Mastermind group. For the people who might not know who you are, how about a little bit of an introduction?
Yeah, so absolutely. So our the P.A.C Mastermind group is we help small business owners and entrepreneurs crush their personal, professional, and financial goals through our mastermind group. And we've brought together, and something that we've kind of talked about offline a little bit, is the difference of mastermind groups is ours is very member-based. So really the expertise comes from the diversity of the different business owners in the mastermind group. So to become a member of it is you have to have expertise in a particular subject. However, we put you together with groups of people from different industries to kind of innovate and grow outside of what your echo chamber typically is that we're trying to break you out of. So that's kind of what we do in our group and how we help everybody.
No, that's awesome, because obviously we've got the SMMA Mastermind group. And to be honest, it's just a fancy name, because obviously the right way to set up a mastermind would be the Napoleon Hill style, which you have obviously done, bringing different experts around a table. I think from our perspective, we are trying to get people who are looking to build some sort of a marketing agency in one room, the newbies, the startups, with those who are more experienced. And then essentially, you know, we hope to pass on the knowledge of the experienced people through our podcast, through the content in the group, to the people who are starting out. But what I usually find in my format of a mastermind, which again is free to join, so it's not like a paid mastermind that you see some coaches and consultants selling, is I have two classes of people that I see as doers and dreamers. So we have the doers who want to start some sort of a low-cost business from home that will give them freedom. They might have seen a couple of YouTube ads, bought a few courses from different people, promising them a Lamborghini. But their work ethic isn't quite there to build a business. And on the other side, we have the doers, people who are actually hustling hard day in, day out, who are trying to build their agency, and they might be, you know, stuck at a certain revenue ceiling, 10K, 15K, 20K, and they can't really get past it without seeking help or networking with like-minded individuals. And I feel our format of the mastermind helps those people more than the dreamers, whereas you've got an interesting setup. So tell us a little bit more about your mastermind.
Yeah, so kind of going back to exactly touching on the points that you spoke about, is just a little bit, go back further, a little bit about me was that I started out in the corporate world, was in the public sector. I was in the aviation industry, actually as an air traffic controller is kind of where I came from. And then I started a couple businesses, did some real estate, did some business consulting on the side with logistics and systems and stuff like that, so based on my background. And I found that I was taking all these courses, I was doing all these things, learning all these skills. But the problem I kept running into is I would learn a particular subject or a skill and go in to apply it to my business. And I may have now figured out, let's say a sales system or a sales funnel or something like that. But now how did I incorporate that into delivering now my product or service to now my clients, right? So now I just created another roadblock that came in, and then I'd go search out another answer from another coach and like start, learning that one, and then spending more money, to learn that. And then it's like, okay, now what? Now what about I got paid? Now, how does it affect my taxes and my bookkeeping? And how do I keep track of all that stuff? Right. And all these facets of a business that entrepreneurs are so much, jack of all trades, master of none. And I found that there's this just huge gap in the market that everyone talks about going niche down, niche down, niche down when you're talking about your business, which is good for your like deliverable, but there's also something to be said that you need something to help you tie it all together.
Yeah,
and that's really where I came up with the idea of starting this mastermind group, because this is, like you said, not a new concept. Napoleon Hill has thought about this back in, I think it was 1932, that he was bringing all these people together. And what I found, at least in the United States, is you kind of have this gap in the market of those that are already successful have like mastermind groups that you have to have like $1 million or more net worth to even like apply, like just to even apply to like even like see if you get accepted, right? But then you also have like those really low end ones that are like $50 a month, and it's like anyone could join it, type thing. So we're kind of in the
mastermind.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like I call those the dreamer masterminds. Like they're people that aren't really doing it quite yet. So I'm kind of filling that gap in the market of those that are still growing. They're not to a point where they're like, multimillionaires or anything like that, that they're looking just to get around multimillionaires, which obviously we have a couple of those that, would be joining the group. But, most of the people that join are in that growth stage of their business, that they have a proof of concept, they already have paying clients, but now they're trying to pull and tie all those different assets of their business together to really grow and scale their business to the next level.
Right. Now, when I think of the Napoleon Hill style of a mastermind, that is actually where I first came across the concept. God knows how many years ago I read Think and Grow Rich. I probably need to reread it again. He kind of talks about a table of experts. So in your own mastermind, I mean, do you have a cap in terms of how many people are present to maintain the quality, or, how does that work?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. And this is where we have kind of a mix of both worlds. I think is really good, is we set up to where there is no limit to joining the mastermind group itself. However, what we do is we do it virtually, and using the technology here on Zoom is we break you up into groups about 8 to 10 business owners every meeting. You're going to be with those business owners for a fiscal quarter, so that way you can develop relationships, have consistency, generate the ideas, build joint venture partnerships, and really get the most you can out of that pot of the group. And we find that at that like 2 to 3 months standpoint, who you connect with, who can help you with what, and you've really developed those relationships that now that we've built the mastermind so big that we're now going to switch you in your groups, right, to where now in another fiscal quarter, you're going to have different new business owners. Or some will be the same, just depending on how big the mastermind is total, but some will be the same. But we try and switch it up to where now you get new, fresh ideas and innovation now for that next quarter to now. And you can also then, based on your goals that you have in your business, let's say you end up in a group that's got 2 or 3 marketing people in it. Might be a good idea this fiscal quarter to work on your marketing, right, because you got, a couple of marketing guys, that are there that can really help you with your marketing. But let's say the next month there ends up being like a couple accountants and like a fitness coach and like stuff like that. So maybe like you're like, hey, maybe I'm going to focus on getting back into shape, or getting, or work on getting my books and taxes, put together. So that's kind of how we have it set up, is that we do put you in smaller groups, but you have a larger community also to network and tap into, that you can connect with via our private Facebook group, like over the week and stuff.
Right. Okay. So I suppose people who are joining your mastermind, they're not necessarily coming with one overarching objective, which is I'm coming in to fix my marketing, or I'm coming in to lower my taxes. They are business people who want to learn whatever they can from other business people.
Yeah, and typically what I find is somebody does have a one pain point when they first join, right? There typically is something that, like you said, it could be marketing, it could be sales, it could be systems, whatever the case is, that they kind of like are looking for some help with. But what happens is they join for that reason, but then once they solve that problem, then they're listening and participating in the group, that they find all these new ways to innovate in their business and build and grow. And then any new challenge that comes up, they already have resources available to them to start tackling those new problems that come up. Because I'm sure you can attest, being a business owner yourself, that there's always something that comes up. And having your basically personal board of directors, how I also like to say it, available to you, that you can go to seek advice and bounce ideas off of, that you may not want to ask your friend that you go bowling with, on the weekend, and get his advice, for how, to first optimize your business or something.
No, that makes total sense. Now, I suppose in terms of the groups of 8 to 10 people, are you dividing them up by skill set, or by, well, not skill set, by profession? I mean, what's your algorithm for putting the right people together?
So I absolutely try to break up expertise. Like, I don't want the groups to be lopsided as much as possible. Like, let's say I'm going to do my best to not put, like, say 5 marketing people all in the same group, and then have no marketing people in like another group. So just based on the membership we have at the time, I do my best to balance the groups to kind of spread out the knowledge bases, so that those that, like, for yourself, if you were in it, you would be like the marketing guy, right? So you would be the marketing expert, and I would try not to put another marketing person in it, just to kind of give you that seat of knowledge authority, in the group, basically to bounce ideas off.
Nobody's going to my job.
But that's good too, is like, it is awesome when we do have 2 or 3 that are in a group, just because the way the breakdown works out with the membership. Because then, like you said, you bounce ideas off someone else, that you might have a tactic or strategy that you use, but then as you're telling it to now the other marketing guy, they're like, oh, I never thought of it before, or like, actually we do this and it's even better than what you're probably, and you can kind of optimize that way too.
No, that totally makes sense. So, I mean, how big is your group right now? Is it kind of, still in its startup stages, or are you quite advanced? How long have you guys been going for?
So this is a relatively newer mastermind group. So we started with 8 business owners that we've been going for 2 months strong right now. And that was basically our beta group. So right now we're very much in a growth stage right now. But the business owners that have been a part of it, we got 3 of them that have doubled their revenue in their business in the last 2 months. We have another. They
how
literally.
Does that happen?
So Fancy, you would know, is one of them is 2 of them are digital marketers. So the digital marketing agency, so they're able to build and scale their business pretty quick. They were able to bring on some clients with some retainers that really actually they doubled their revenue, so far in just a couple months time. And then we had another person who's a fitness coach. He's had the most leads he's ever had in his business before, that he's still working through, getting them on. And then we had a therapist that's part of the group, actually, is his own therapy for entrepreneurs. And he's like totally revamped his marketing and really like just doing big things, so it's been like really good growth so far in the group, and it's only been literally 2 months. So it's been getting results very quickly for people.
And that's awesome, because once people start getting results, you create this kind of high performing virtuous circle where people keep on encouraging each other to obviously keep on pushing to the next level, which is why it's so important to kind of have a community or around you where people are doing and achieving the things that you wish to achieve. What do they say about your net worth being your closest 6 people, or whatever the phrase is, but your
network is your net worth.
Exactly.
Some of the 5 closest people around you is kind of the same there. Absolutely. Yeah,
exactly. So your mastermind, how often do you guys meet? Is it monthly? Is it like?
Yep. So we really want to build in the consistency and the accountability. So we meet every Tuesday. So it's every week, and it's for 2 hours. And the way we break up the actual meetings is we'll usually have like a short introductory session, just kind of welcome people, get everybody in. But then we're a hot seat format. So basically every business owner has approximately 10 to 15 minutes where their small pod group is solely focused on them. So that's another big difference between some of these other bigger masterminds like that I ran into personally, that I spent very big dollars, to join, that you're just kind of a number as part of like almost like a group coaching. And when you want that one-on-one help because you have custom problems that are specific to you, that was missing. And that's where we solved with this group is you have 10 to 15 minutes where your whole group is just focused on you. So you have time to speak, bring up whatever problems, and then they give you feedback. And then one of the things we do to keep you accountable, and this is why we meet every week, is that we write down what we tell you that you should have done, to fix your problem. So when you come
it's a
back,
board meeting then.
it is. It's a board meeting. And it's also like, we record and keep you accountable, because I'm sure you could attest that I know I have shiny object syndrome,
Oh, yeah.
that, all of a sudden something new comes and you're like, oh, squirrel, and that's where, entrepreneurs kind of sometimes need that accountability partner to keep you on track to reaching your targets and hitting your goals. So that's why we meet every week. But I do have plans for next year doing in-person destination masterminds as well. So that's going to be the next big step for the mastermind group is next year we'll go to some cool location, it's Hawaii or New Zealand or something like that, and kind of do like an extended weekend or a week-long trip to, meet with experts and kind of collaborate together actually in person, which I know after 2020, everyone I'm sure is excited to do. So.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I for one can't wait to travel internationally again. I've got a travel bug and it's really bothering me. Touch wood that in a couple of months things are going to be better once more people are vaccinated or the virus dies out or whatever happens, right?
Absolutely.
So in terms of your membership right now, are you kind of recruiting entrepreneurs in your state, or are you going wider through the whole
country? Absolutely. So just
international,
we actually have so right now I think about half of the members are United States, and actually almost half are international. So we have one that's in the group from Laos, we have a couple from Canada, and then I think the rest are United States. So that's kind of what we have for right now. But that's the beauty again of having it virtual. It's more so like with the time change and stuff like that, if you can make it work for your schedule, which we meet 5 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the United States. So if that can work for you, our gentleman from Laos, I mean, he's getting up at 5 in the morning and jumping on the call at like 6 in the morning for him, to make it. But yeah, so it's definitely international. And that's the beauty of bringing that diversity of backgrounds and experience. And that's how you grow. Is you break out of those people that you see and talk to all the time, maybe in your daily life, and kind of expand your horizons with people that you normally wouldn't interact with.
Right. Okay. And in terms of growth, obviously, you've been running for 2 months. What size do you want to take this to? What are your ambitions with the mastermind?
Yeah, well, kind of like I was mentioning earlier, is that, the whole idea of this is that you're going to be able to switch groups and members that are part of your small pod every fiscal quarter. So ultimately, we'd like to grow this into the hundreds for membership. If not, I mean, it'd really be awesome if it was thousands, but keep it realistic. I'd love to get it into the hundreds.
Be an admin headache.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. But you know what? I'm up to the challenge. I think it'd be fantastic. But definitely in the hundreds, is where we'd like to go. Because like I said, we're still breaking everybody down into those smaller groups. So you still always will have that intimate relationship with your small group that you'll be participating with, but then have that larger network to also tap into, in between meetings and through relationships.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of qualifying to join your membership, I'm sure you want to maintain the quality to a certain degree. So
absolutely,
there's some criteria that you apply for people who are looking to join.
Yeah. So some criteria is basically you are an entrepreneur, small business owner, that you have a proof of concept with paying clients is kind of the baseline to start at. So you got to have something that you've already taken to the market. you're an expert in that space, you have a lot of expertise in it, you have paying clients, and you're at the point now that you're looking to build and grow and expand your horizons with it. Because one of the things that we're also working is, one is you're sharing your expertise with the other members of the group. So we want to obviously keep, like you said, the quality of the group, that, the advice that they're giving is something that's been proven in the market to actually work. But then also, as you're building and growing, rising tide lifts all ships, that we also may invest together. We may, work on other opportunities. So we want people that are, kind of building and growing an existing, already proof of concept of a business.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of people who are looking to do lead generation from within these groups, like you get with BNI Business Networking International, for example, everyone shows up for breakfast. Well, probably not anymore, but
yeah, exactly.
And you're trying to kind of, refer leads to each other. Is there a lot of that going on, or is your focus more on kind of solving problems within a business to?
It's certainly both. Yeah, no, that's a fantastic question. It's definitely both. I could say, like, right now, one of our members of the group has a virtual assistant agency. And just being part of the group, she's actually signed on 3 of us as clients, so even just part of the group, that we've been like, wow, that's really awesome service. I need that in my life, and have signed and, had her be our agent for that. So yes, there's definitely cross promotion within the group, but that is not the necessarily a pitch fest. This is not meant to be that you come in and you're pitching your business to other business. No, that's not it at all. Like, this is meant to be, you come in, provide value without any, expectation of return on it. But the more value you seem to put into the group, definitely the members that have put the most in have definitely gotten the most out of it, because then those have been reciprocated back to them through value of their own businesses, where people will barter, kind of like help each other out, or just through leads. Because I might know a realtor. One of our persons is a marketing agency for realtors, and if I have some realtor friends or real estate investors that are looking to expand their marketing, well, I'm absolutely going to refer them to my friend that's in the mastermind group. So there's definitely referrals that happen, and sharing of expertise between each other.
Right. Now, obviously, not everyone is aware of the benefits of joining a mastermind, and some people might think, well, they're not ready, or they don't need to, or they're not going to get any value from it. They could join, for example, a paid course that has a group with it, or they can, join something that they've seen on Facebook, which one of the coaches and whoever's selling, I suppose how do I articulate this, which is something that
I think I know where you're going with it. And if you don't mind, I'll jump onto their thought. Is that it's the answer is, you don't know what you don't know.
That's spot on, right?
All right, that's really truly the statement that was born out of this. And I'll just give it a little story example with it, because I was part of another group. It was another mastermind group for a program I had joined, and I had just discovered this really cool system that would do like text message and follow up. I had all my CRM together. I could do funnels and all this other stuff. And I bring it to my buddy, and I'm like, oh man, I found this really awesome program. And he's like, yeah, you mean like go high level? And I'm like, what? Wait, no, this is part of another program. This guy, he's a marketer. He's really good. He's like, yeah, all I did was white label, go high level. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I've been using it for like 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, wait, why have I never been introduced to this before, or like never knew it existed? Like, it solves 20 of my problems that I have in my business. And he's like, yeah, I've been using it for like 3 years. And it's just one of those things that you just don't know what you don't know. Like, there's so much out there in the world that this is another example I like to say is, like, you have the internet at your fingertips that has so much knowledge in it that it's unfathomable, right? Mm-hmm. But here's the problem. You need to know what to type in the search box to learn about it.
Yeah. True.
So unless you're around people that have exposure to those ideas or the innovations that you just have never come across in your life, never even thought of before, the only way you're going to get exposed to those ideas to even have them affect your life or your business is by being around people that are successful and are in those industries or aware of those ideas to now be able to put them into your own life and your own business to now build and grow. And I can go on for days about different examples of how
No,
that's
but
applied to my
makes
life.
sense.
But yeah, but that's kind of the core of it, is like, if you're at a point in your business where you are building and you're growing and you think you got it figured out, I guarantee you there's things you're not thinking about that, you know, are those shadows that might be on your business that could take you down or make you stumble. And surrounding yourself with successful business owners that have probably been through those challenges already with you, that can help guide you through those things the most efficiently as possible.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. You don't know what you don't know until you take a leap of faith and try it out, I suppose, and then if you're in a room full of other successful people, I think you will naturally find that your way of thinking changes. There's some process of osmosis with all of that knowledge, that you just getting more clarity in terms of what you need to do next. And fair enough, you might have worked it out through trial and error. But the whole point of these masterminds is to accelerate your success by having the right brains around the table. Now, Kyle, for people who might want to find out more about your mastermind, more about what you do, or connect with you, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, so I set up a special link just for your audience today. So it'll be abul.thepacmastermind.com. So
Right.
that's how you can find me. You'll go to that website. There'll be a little short video kind of showing you a little bit more about the mastermind group, a little survey to fill out to kind of just so I can learn more about you. And then it'll have a calendar to set up a call with me, and we'll be able to talk about your goals and how the mastermind may or may not be a good fit for you. So yeah, I encourage anybody to reach out. I'm happy to talk with anybody and answer any questions you have. And if you're a business owner, you're working to scale your business, I promise you that being a mastermind group is going to accelerate your growth and your success, because there's 2/3 of all small businesses fail within 5 years. And my goal is to change that and flip that script to make sure it's at least 2/3 succeed compared to the third that fail.
That's awesome. On that note, Kyle Kruger, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks. We'll really appreciate having me today.